Good morning, fans of professional bull riding, Western sports, and all the other fun stuff out there. We are excited today. Our guest today is the biggest little man in pro rodeo. Our guest today is Josh Porkchop Garrick. We'll be discussing rodeo families, the mule riders, comedy, and how it all relates to Western sports. Josh, how you doing today?
Man, I'm doing good. Excited to visit with you guys. Man, it's boy, the Bulls Bands and Barrels Tour 2025 is in full swing, and man, we'll be headed to Lexington here in less than 14 days now.
Heck yeah, I was gonna say I know our fans are counting it down, looking forward to it. I mean, shoot, it's such a great event and it just keeps getting better and better every year.
It does. It is so cool. So I was not able to attend the Lexington event last year. It's been several years since I've been to Lexington. And man, I'm excited because that All Tech Horse Park, man, you fill that thing up with fans. It does rock. And you know the bulls, bands, and barrels deal. We buck bulls, we fight bulls, we run barrels, and then we got the bands. And dude, we've got Sam Barber and Ella Langley, so that's going to be pretty dang awesome. I'm excited.
Exactly. Yeah, it's phenomenal the talent that y'all are able to pull in for the music performers.
Man, absolutely, it's a credit to our staff. We've got that's what. Well, you and I spoke a little bit earlier about it. We've got just a great group of people, and everybody's busting their tail for a common goal, and it is exciting to see what's happening right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say it's those unsung heroes that really make the difference.
100%, 100%.
So what was it like growing up in a rodeo family?
Um, to me, it was perfect. It is literally all I have ever wanted to be a part of for my whole life. So my mom and dad were around rodeo a good bit, but didn't actually compete. But I had aunts and uncles that competed, and then the heaviest rodeo influence in my life was obviously my grandfather. He was the one, and me and him were best friends from the time I don't just as long as I can remember. And he had a passion for rodeo like I do, and that is where my passion from the sport came from, is from him. And man, I grew up going to rodeos with him. I think they took me to my first one when I was, I don't know, probably, I don't know, 6 or 8 weeks old maybe.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and I can remember my first real rodeo memory. I was 3 years old, and it was actually at my hometown rodeo, a local rodeo, and a person, man, he's one of my heroes. Rudy Burns was the rodeo clown at that event. He's out of Louisiana, and I'll never forget it. He drove his clown car into the fence, kind of lost control out of it, and at that point, I decided that's what I wanted to do. Don't ask me why, but that's what I remember, and it clicked. And um, that's, Lord, been nearly 40 years ago now, and I've never wavered from that path for one instant. There's sometimes the good Lord wires you to do a certain thing, and I've always wanted to be a part of what I'm doing right now. So to me, it was the best way to grow up because rodeo is probably one of the biggest loves of my life, hands down.
That is awesome. Yeah, when you do what you love, you never work a day, it sounds like.
100% the truth.
Excellent. So where does the name pork chop come from?
That's what everybody wants to know. And so I mean it's a story, but it's not like that cool of a story. So um also part of being a rodeo family, my family also has owned butcher shops throughout the years. That's what we did as a trade. And matter of fact, I did that for a long time until I was fortunate enough to just rodeo. But and so when I was in college, I was college rodeoing at Southern Arkansas University and had a lot of friends down there. Um, but I would always come back home on the weekends to work at the butcher shop, and I was always dragging stuff back home during the week for us to have cookouts. And pork chops were just something I always brought because I was in college and they were cheap and we could afford them. And so they just started calling me pork chop.
Oh, cool. Well, that's a fun one. Heck yeah. Now you touch base there on the Southern Arkansas. So tell us about your time as a mule rider.
Well, it didn't last all 4 years. But man, it was so Southern Arkansas University was a huge part of making me what I am today. Even though I didn't graduate, man, I learned a lot about life at college. And that is where I developed, to be honest with you, my first real core group of like rodeo friends.
Oh, cool.
Because it was my first time living away from home, and I was on the college rodeo team down there, actually fighting bulls at that point. That was before entertainment part of this career had come about, and I would fight bulls 2 days a week down there at their practice pens, and man, met some other guys down there that rodeoed, and we that's the first time I had really had the opportunity to be around people my age that had the same goals and dreams that I had, like that were just as passionate about the sport of rodeo as I was. And man, me and some of those guys and girls are still best friends to this day, and that's been 20 something years ago now. But that's where I learned that, man, life can be rough on you. It gets pretty real when you get to college a little bit, and first time out of the house, I kind of went wild. I learned how to have fun for sure, but also learned a lot. It really took that to make me who I am today, because that's where I learned how to turn my passion for this sport into a productive income and a productive living. So,
That is awesome. So, what did you study there?
agricultural business, actually,
Hmm.
because in relation, I'm going to be real honest with you. I've always ever wanted to do is just rodeo professionally,
Mhm.
but very, very few people are fortunate enough to be able to do this and be financially secure enough to do just this and nothing else. So obviously, my backup plan was agricultural business, and if I was not in rodeo professionally, I would probably be working for the United States Department of Agriculture, the USDA, doing something with cattle
Oh,
production, stuff like
mhm.
that.
Well, congratulations on your multiple Barrel Man of the Year awards. Which one meant the most to you?
Man, that I am super super fortunate. There's been a lot. That's like asking me to pick my favorite child. I can tell you. So there's one of my favorites is I got to work the Bulls, Bands, and Barrels finals in Fort Worth, Texas last year, and that's obviously a big one. But probably a very very close second to that would be I worked at the Southeastern Professional Rodeo Association finals. I believe it was 5 years ago, and my grandfather um, lost his battle with cancer that year, and we had his funeral and immediately left to go to that finals rodeo. And that is, man, I did not want to be there. Uh, it was tough and it sucked. And, but at the end of the day, it turned out to be exactly what I needed. I needed to be around my friends, I needed to be around my rodeo family. And they pulled me out of the rut right there. And that's a buckle that I won that weekend that I will never ever put on. That buckle belongs to my grandfather.
Do you ever do stand-up comedy?
No, I don't. And we have talked about it. Lord, this sounds so. To be around me and to see me in the arena, you would think I'm actually the most self confident person on the planet. But the idea of standing up in front of a room of people without a Western sports event going on around me, and without an announcer to talk to me and a DJ to play music for me to dance to, absolutely terrifies me. So I never have. I think I probably could, and I think I will one of these days. Maybe just try it just to see how it goes. But no, to this point in my career, I've not.
Okay. Well, I was going to say, if you ever change your mind, I got friends at the Funny Bone and Go Bananas, and I can always reach out to them because I think you do phenomenal at it.
We'll try. I'll tell you what. We'll try that one day. Let's get this Bulls Bands and Barrels tour off the ground and flying good for this year. And I would be open to that. We could try that one of these days.
That's pretty cool. So, why are people the part of being an entertainer that you love the most?
Um, wow. So I'm a firm believer that if you have fun, the people around you will have fun. You know what I mean? I think that your energy transfers to other people. I think their energy transfers back to you. So, man, when I'm out in that arena and I'm giving them every single thing that I've got, boy, when they're spinning around and giving it back and making noise and rocking and rolling, it is one of the coolest feelings in the world. And um, man, kind of have some surreal moments in this because we were in Cedar Rapids, Iowa this past weekend, Saturday night. The show was over. We had Trio Oak Revival in concert, and man, they were rocking and rolling. And just stopped and looked around at all those people. And there's, I don't know, 6,000, 7,000 people there. And all of those people, and you just look at them, and man, at that point in time, they don't have a care in the world.
Hmm.
And you know that every single person, when they walked in that building, man, life's life, and it's going to be life. And man, those people, I'm sure, are struggling with relationship issues or financial issues or political issues or day and time issues, you name it. And I just think that it's so cool that for those 3.5, 4 hours that you're in that building with us, man, you can put all that stuff down and let us carry it, and just let us, man, just have fun and be whatever you want to be for those 3 or 4 hours. Just hang out with us and forget about all your real world stuff. And I think that's the coolest part of it. And I think when you look and you see 5 or 6, 7,000 people, and man, there's not a care in the world between them at that point in time. I think that's one of the most special feelings in the world.
Yeah. The thing I'm really impressed with is your ability to bring the joy, keep them laughing, and leave them smiling. How are you able to do that?
Um, because the good Lord has blessed me. That is the only logical explanation for it. I firmly believe that God built me to do what I do every single day. And man, when I perform, I want to put my best foot forward, and I want Him to work through me and everything. And I think that that translates into all our fans. Man, I think that it's back to that same old deal. I believe that if you are genuinely having fun, that translates to them. And I think that's a feeling. I hope that that's a feeling that carries them on past the doors of the building when they go home that night. You know, I want them not just on the Sunday morning after to wake up and think, man, that was fun. 6 months from them, I want them to see a clip of me on the Grueling Truth, and think back to that night that they had and say, boy, that was fun. I want to do it again. So I don't. I'm just blessed, and of course my stature is different, so I stick in people's mind a little bit. Um, so I don't know. I just think if I have fun, that people will remember that and want to come back and have fun again.
Exactly. Yeah, I was going to say that's what it is. It's all about paying it forward, and it sounds like you definitely do that by bringing joy into other people's lives. And it seems like by doing that, you've definitely brought joy into your own life.
Absolutely, man. I have, in my opinion, I have the best life. I get to do this. I mean, this is my job, and it's the only job I've ever wanted. Um, and I get to do it 7 days a week, 365 days out of the year. Super, super blessed to be part of events like the Bulls, Bands, and Barrels tour. And I get so uh, the people that I work with are my best friends. That's we talk on the phone when we're not together. But if you could just imagine going to work every single day with your very, 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 very best friends, the group of people that you have the most fun with, that's what I get to do 7 days a week. And then on top of that, we're together every Thursday through Sunday morning. And so it's just, I don't know, it's really, really cool. And we get to travel the country and see different things and do different things. And man, every single person involved with this tour come from pretty humble beginnings. And it is so, so neat to watch it, man. Right now, we are experiencing an explosive growth all across the United States of America. Man, we're selling out huge buildings, and it's just so neat to watch it turn into what it's become. It's a lot of fun.
Exactly. Yeah, I was going to say I'm looking forward to the future, probably next year or the year after, where instead of me having to go down to Lexington, you all coming up to Northern Kentucky, coming up to Cincinnati, coming up to Indiana, coming up to Columbus, especially Columbus, because Trish has mentioned that many times. She wants to go back home to Columbus. So Yeah,
Absolutely. We added two new tour stops this year. We've already been to two new ones, Evansville, Indiana being one, and Huntington, West Virginia being another one, and just phenomenal. Uh, Evansville did not quite sell out. We were so close. Had over 6,000 people in the building. Huntington, West Virginia, that Joker sold the rafters. I mean, it was cool,
nice.
and both of those events were cool. And I don't see any reason for this train to pump the brakes. I think as long as we keep rolling and people keep having a good time with us, that there will be new events every single year, and we're just going to continue to grow.
Yeah, I was gonna say last year in Lexington did so well. Shoot, they still took care of me. They ended up finding me a seat. There wasn't a seat that was like available to buy, but they brought in extra chairs just so me and my family could be in there, and it meant a lot because it was such a great event.
Well, and you mentioned that word family. We that is another very special part of the Bulls Bands and Barrels tour is we are all about family. We all have our own families, but we all are family. Back to the work deal. You know, I spend more times with my people that I work with than I do my kid at home. That's and that can be hard sometimes. But man, when you're around family, you're around family, and they really are a family first type atmosphere, and that's pretty important. And it's also kind of hard to find in this day and age too. You know, not a lot of true family friendly companies left, and proud to say that Bulls Bands and Barrels is one for sure.
Definitely. So Bulls, Bands, and Barrels is a great experience for the entire family. Does your family ever get the experience or get to experience it live?
They do actually. My mom and dad, uh, pretty special moment for me. They were able to come to. I live just outside of Hot Springs, Arkansas, which is not terribly far from Fort Worth, 4.5, 5 hours. They were able to come down to the Bulls, Bands, and Barrels finals last year at the Stockyards in Fort Worth. They were able to spend the whole weekend, got to meet all the crew and the people that I work with. And that was pretty special to me because that was the first time that they have got to see live. They get to watch me on TV a lot, but that was the first time that they'd ever seen me at a mainstream event live, and it was really special for me to have them there and see what started as an idea that we all thought was crazy at the time has really turned into a pretty dang awesome opportunity.
That is awesome. Yeah, I can't wait to February 15th, Lexington, Kentucky, the Kentucky Horse Park. How about you?
Man, it's going to be so good. We have these deals are just rocking, and Lexington holds a very special place in my heart because it is one of the called the OG events, one of the original Bulls Bands and Barrels tours events, and it's been a staple of this tour forever. And proud to say that it's not going anywhere anytime soon. Already sold out at this point. You know it does it every single year. Concerts. Lexington is known for being a hotbed of just awesome concert as far as the Bulls, Bands, and Barrels go. 2025 going to be absolutely no different. Sam Barber, and man, if that's not enough, then we got Miss Ella Langley, and I don't. Man, she's amazing. Sam is awesome. Had the opportunity to see Sam several times. I've met him. Proud to call him a friend. It'll be my first opportunity to see Miss Ella live, and I'm really looking forward to it.
So, how does Bulls, Bands, and Barrels combine traditional Western sports and contemporary entertainment to make the next big thing in family friendly entertainment?
It wow, it is really its own thing. And to explain it is so hard because we can tell you all the things that we do. But what we can't tell you is the feeling inside that building, the vibe that it creates, the mood that it builds. But you know, you take the three, or what we feel like are the three best parts of the Western sports industry, and that is the cowgirls and the barrel racing, the freestyle bullfights, one man, one fighting bull for 1 minute head to head, and then you've also got, of course, the sport of bull riding, which everybody loves. That's my passion as well. You take that and then you weld that to two amazing concerts, and it's not. And when we say concerts, we mean concerts. They get up there and do a full set. It's not a they get up there and strum a few times and leave. It is two full concerts, and not even that. But as soon as we go doors, we want the tone in the building to be different. We want it to not feel like something that you've seen before. So as soon as you come in the doors, there's going to be a live DJ on stage playing. DJ JD, he's out of Nashville. He's the official DJ of the Bulls Bands and Barrels tour. He's going to be, and it starts, man, it is designed for you to have fun from the moment that you walk in the door. And it's so neat to watch it build up because you can see DJ JD on stage, and man, that guy is an absolute ball of energy. And boy, people kind of start tapping their toes and bobbing their head a little bit, and then about 15 minutes out, our in-house music director takes over, be either Dakota Riggin or Miss Samantha Williams, whichever one. And boy, they start spinning tunes, and it gets a little heavier and a little louder. And boy, people are really starting to bob and weave. And then about 5 minutes before we start, Matt Palmer, the official voice of the Bulls Bands and Barrels tour, comes on, and it's just it's almost a snowball effect. It just gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and then man, they play the music and the booms go off, and then we're down the hill and off and running, and it is just in your face for the next 4 hours.
I agree with you. Yeah, I was going to say my experience last year. I mean, gosh, like you said, from the minute the doors open to that last song, it's constantly high energy. I mean, and it's an experience that I haven't had at any other event. I mean, it was so fun, it was so exciting, it was so adrenaline filled, and I'm looking forward to it again this year.
It's and we tell people this all the time, and I don't know if they believe it, man. If you guys knew how much fun we had doing this, y'all would pack up and just follow us all over the country, because I promise you that we enjoy it every bit as much as the fans do. And man, in my opinion, the Bulls Bands and Barrels fans are the best, because they bring the heat every single time, and every single week we're like, this is the best show we've ever had. How are we going to top this? And it's all because of the people that are sitting in the seats and having fun with us. And they're incredible. And man, I love our fans. I love their dedication, and I look forward to adding more of them as we go this year.
Definitely. Yeah, I was going to say, like you said, it's grown every year. It's grown in popularity. It's grown in talent. It's grown in venues. I mean, it's unstoppable. So it's going great there. The thing I really like about it is how Bulls, Bands, and Barrels is got something from ages 2 to 102. I mean, shoot, you got the events that are going on, you got the music, but also the thing I really thought was cool when I got there was how you had some of the meet and greets. There were a couple of the performers that, shoot, took the time to interact with the fans. And I thought that was really cool.
Absolutely. Man, our group is just really a group of regular people that understand how blessed we are to get to do this every day. And before the show, you get a couple of the bullfighters and some of the bull riders up there to sign autographs and do meet and greets. And then as soon as we finish the performance every single night, I kind of hot foot it to my locker room, and I change clothes because I don't want to meet people all sweaty and yucky. But change clothes and freshen up a little bit, and then I head upstairs to the merch booth, hang out with merch guy Toby, who is the best in the business, by the way. And man, I stay up there for a pretty good hot minute, just meeting people and hanging out, and signing autographs, asking questions, because to me, it's fascinating. And the deal is, if we want this to continue, we have to grow a younger fan base, and that is what I think is great about the Bulls Bands and Barrels tour versus other Western sports entities. You talk about the live DJs and the concerts. That's bridging a gap to a younger generation, which is in turn opening a younger generation's eyes to the Western sports industry, which is growing the sport of rodeo and bull riding and all the things to make it better. And I think it's pretty neat to watch that gap bridge. And man, I love hanging out with new fans and talking to them and getting to meet them and hearing their experiences about what they like about what we do. And obviously that gives us insight of how to make our part of the show better. But absolutely, we love hanging out with the fans. We think we've got the best. Well, we know we've got the best fans in the world, so we love them.
That is awesome. Well, Josh, it has been a pleasure having you on this show today, talking all about Bulls, Bands, and Barrels, February 15th, Lexington, Kentucky, Kentucky Horse Park. I was going to say it's going to be a great event. I'm not sure how our listeners, I kind of feel bad because I'm telling them about how great it is. It's already sold out. So I'm not sure how they're going to get these tickets, how they're going to get into it, other than maybe
Yeah,
to motivate them to go to one of the other shows, or maybe this will motivate them to buy earlier next year because
Absolutely. And that being said, so you can check out bullsbandsandbarrels.com. That's got all there's going to be all in total about 20 tour stops this year. The first leg is up and on sale right now. Sit tight. There is another leg coming. Also, follow us on all forms of social media, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, all the things, everything. Hashtag Bulls Bands and Barrels at Bulls Bands and Barrels. Also, Bulls, Bands, and Barrels, they have a Facebook group called the Fam Zone, FAM, the Fam Zone. Check out the Fam Zone. And if you are going to make a trip, you're going to join us at one of our other tour stops. You can get all the behind the scenes info, ticket discounts, hotel room blocks, and hotel room discounts. So if you guys are traveling to events to hang out, y'all stay where we stay. We want you to be comfortable, and we want you to be able to hang out with us and have fun. So the Fam Zone on Facebook and everything at Bulls, Bands, and Barrels, all forms of social media, and bullsbandsandbarrels.com.
it's been awesome. Thank you, Josh, for joining us.
Man, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.